Well, the problem is, because a lot of churches say we're about our church, church, Bible, Bible. That's not true. If you say in this room right now, brother, that's not true. It's not true. It's something they claim with their mouth and their preaching and their literature and their sermons. It's a claim that all Bible people. You're not. We're not. I can't count on my hands how many times I've taken the time to study deeply in God's word and really allow posters to read the Bible say to come to the conclusion that somebody else posted it. That's actually accurate. And the Mike says, and the final word is, Mike says. I was saying this. Many Adventists will say, that's not me. I believe the Bible is fine.
I've been listening to this guy for the past 20 minutes, 20, 25 maybe. That's time I'm not getting back, which I'm pretty bummed out about. But yeah, I don't. It's funny to me. I'm sad. I have a lot of emotions. Number one, it's sad to see somebody lose a part of themselves because of disagreements in the church community that they've grown up in. Whether they've grown up since they were children or just whether you join a church when you are young or old, if you're in it long enough, you will grow. You'll grow alongside the community. And it can be really painful to leave a community that you've grown up in. This can even be the case as well for people who have just grown up in a specific Adventist community and then move geographically to a different place. And sometimes not geographically, but moving to a different Adventist community. It can be kind of traumatic. So my heart goes out to Ryan Day, not like Elon Musk levels of my heart goes out to you. But I understand. I know what that's like. For different reasons. He says a lot of things in his video. This is a huge trauma dump, and a lot of what he's saying is just, to me, it's silly because I'm an Adventist. I'm in the same position that he probably was in, some time ago, and I'm super sad because Ryan Day, 3ABN. You come through here and you're going to see these kinds of videos, right? These Adventist YouTubers that all they do is share gossip. The only reason I'm recording this is first of all, if you are struggling with your Adventist faith, you're not alone. And it's not unique to Adventism. People are switching all the time. Just based on their convictions, and convictions change. Just because your convictions are different than they used to be, that doesn't make you a worse off Christian. And nor do I look down on Ryan Day for. Believe it or not, I actually didn't know who this guy was. Somebody sent me a video. They're like, "Hey, look, check this out," and yeah, who knows? Who knows? Lots of problems. But one that he picked on that I was like, I mean, that's common for some non-pastors to leave over, which is the investigative judgment and the 2300-day prophecy. But to hear his explanation of it, I was like, what? You picked the 2300-day prophecy as the reason that you were shaky? For those who don't know, Adventists hold that Bible prophecy is, a stretch of history, and God fulfills events through history as way markers, mile markers of our progress as we get closer to the end. Well, the reason why the 2300-day prophecy is particularly difficult for many Adventists is because it is used to legitimize the Adventist institution. However, it's hard to work around the 2300-day prophecy because within it is the 70-week prophecy, which is very ironclad. You would have to know what you're doing in order to really try and poke holes at it. It's not something you can just sit down and be like, yeah, well, that's obviously wrong, isn't it? As a member, okay, you don't know that, or you really haven't had the luxury of sitting down and studying that out. So, but what he's saying here at the end, which is why I decided to backtrack a little bit and then record that and show it here, is, and pardon me, I know I watch videos at very high speeds, because I'm just going to be honest, I have a lot less time these days than I thought I did. And so I've developed some unhealthy habits. One of them is listening to videos at lightning speed. Yeah. So that right there is really important. He's pointing out that while Adventism on paper claims that the final authority for doctrinal teaching and instruction is the Bible, there's no denying that the subculture, and especially those who are seen as very Adventist, are those who are going to take Ellen White's interpretation of the Bible over anybody else's. In fact, if the Bible seems to be leaning in one direction, but Ellen White clearly leans in the other, well, it doesn't matter what the exegesis says because Ellen White said it this way and we've got to do that. And that, I think, is like a legit issue, right? A legit issue that the church has not ever taken care of, and probably never will. So it's up to like the individual pastors to navigate those difficult conversations with the members because the institution just isn't going to do it. And I don't care how you feel about it. It doesn't matter that you will say something like, oh, well, we know that Ellen White's inspired by the same Spirit. Therefore, it's not that we're taking her side. It's that we're taking the biblical side, and she was there before we got there. Which is, yeah, you could say that, but it's not ingenuous. It's not real. It's not genuine to what is actually happening. What is actually happening is that people go to the Bible, and oftentimes we're lucky if they even do that. Instead, they'll go to Ellen White. I have a church. If you're watching from there, hello, Fruta church members. We have a church where the prayer meeting isn't about reading the Bible. It's about reading the words that Ellen White wrote about the Bible. How can we go around claiming that we're Bible-believing Christians when in reality, no, we're not. We take Ellen White's word above, or at least our leaders do, take the leaders that are highly respected, take her word and her method of interpreting the Bible above any other. And that's a problem. So do I think he's right for leaving? I don't know. Do I think he's right for beginning his own little ministry, Rethink Adventism? I don't know. I don't know what he's trying to say. So far, he's just telling us a story, and I think there's nothing we shouldn't demonize people for telling their story, but I will make fun of them. Because 2 3/4 hours, that, like I said, it's a trauma dump. So am I recommending you watch this video? Not really, unless you know who Ryan Day is and you have 3 hours to kill, because few of you, I know James, if you're watching, hi James, it's been a long time, man. Most of you don't watch videos at 4 times speed.
But I will say this. I came to a point last year, 2024, in the fall of last year.
I haven't watched this part yet.
I ended up seeing an pastor at an Adventist Church. Keep in mind, I've always developed a lot of stuff in my mind. I've always seen kind of the writing on the wall. And I know that there's a potential chance that I'm going to be making a transition, but I went to get to a place in my life where I pay attention more to my health, pay attention more to my studies. There's nothing, no shake, videos, machines, stuff. If I'm reason, if I 5 videos, 5 videos, 5 videos, trying to constantly record. There's a lot going on in my life. I thought maybe pastoral ministry was the answer. I've seen a lot of pastor. Problem is, I'm spending things on anything, why and certain teaching, I can't know. It's just I can't accept pastoral position. Now I agree with the 20 mils. I'm applying this solution, so I can accept a job, and I'm really honest with them.
No, I think that's fair. I prefer that because what he's describing may seem like a new thing, like a lot of Adventists are deconstructing, but this has been happening for a long time. But really in a big way since The White Lie was published. We've been seeing a lot of that. Before that, maybe less, but since then, we've had a lot of pastors who will join the ranks because they feel called to ministry or they want to do ministry, but they don't actually believe in the major dogmatic tenets of the Adventist denomination. And I know maybe I make you upset because I said dogmatic, but it's true. Like if I get up and say, maybe the Sabbath isn't the day of rest, that's not gonna fly. Like we're not gonna let you go to a different church, okay? We do have distinctions and borders around our identity denominationally for a reason. So I think what he's doing is very faithful to his conscience, and I think God sees that. We should see that too. We should see, we want that actually. We want people to be honest, and if they don't believe, then no, they shouldn't lead in a direction that's opposite than what they're signing up for. And he knows that he's being consistent. So anyway, those are just my thoughts. That's 16 minutes of your life that you're not getting back, so I apologize. Hopefully you watch this on 2x speed. If you don't know how, look right here. This is the settings, and then boom, select what you need. Oh, sorry, not the quality, the playback speed. The highest it goes is 2x, but I like going higher. I guess I'll finish listening to this guy maybe a little bit faster because I need to get back from work, but thanks so much.